Trust issues. This can stop people from forming meaningful relationships, and it is important to address this issue and to take steps to overcome them. If you are a person who has trust issues, you might find it difficult to believe people. And this can be anyone. This can be a co-worker, this can be a friend, or even a family member. You constantly doubt their words, you doubt their actions, you doubt their intentions, and you also question yourself whether or not to trust this person completely. If this sounds familiar, then this video is for you, and let's see what to do about it. But first, why is it important to talk about trust issues? When it becomes difficult for you to form trustworthy and meaningful relationships, and whatever this relationship is, you cannot be yourself. You cannot transparently speak your mind and communicate your needs. You will always be in an analyzing mode, constant doubts, constant fears. You will not feel secure in this relationship. The judgments and the overthinking about the other person might end up in fights, which might lead to failed relationships. So more than the other person, trusting has a lot to do with yourself. So to fix this, or to at least take the first few steps, there's a lot of work needs to be done with yourself. Now let's look at few things that indicate that we have trust issues. Number one, you think the other person is going to betray you. Even though there are no signs of betrayal in the other person's actions, you still think that person is going to betray you. Maybe they're good today, but they'll betray me in the end. You expect betrayal. Number two, you avoid forming close relationships and commitments because you're afraid that the other person will leave. So you always limit yourself, maintain a distance, and refuse to commit. Number three, you keenly look out for mistakes, and even if it's a very small mistake, you make a big deal out of it and you leave the person. You refuse to forgive them because you think that this is better than getting betrayed in the end. If this sounds like you, firstly, it's okay. Trust issues are normal, and having trust issues doesn't make you any less of who you are and what you deserve. And how do we get trust issues in the first place? Past experiences. This can be your partner cheating on you, or a manipulative boyfriend or girlfriend, some childhood or adult experiences. Someone betrayed you, someone cheated you, someone left you, someone lied to you, and the next time you find it hard to trust people and you don't know who to trust and whom not to trust. There can be multiple reasons for why you got trust issues, but the only way to solve this is to take efforts and work on them. Now let's see how to overcome and deal with them. The first step is taking that risk. Whoever it is that we trust, risk comes along with it. There is no one criteria that we can check so that we can trust the person completely. So taking the risk becomes the first step. Now you're not blindly taking this risk because you know that it is a risk and you're willingly and preparedly taking this. When you do this, you're clearly communicating with the other person about your needs and boundaries. You're not taking one long step, but tiny steps at your own pace. You're not assuming the worst, but you're careful. You know when to forgive and when not to forgive. This is the risk I'm talking about. And to take this step, you have to spend some time with yourself. You have to know what you want, what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to give, to what extent, when you're ready to take the next step. Everything about yourself, you should have an idea first. You gotta talk to yourself, clear things up within you, and then take the first step. When you do this, you're aware of what you're doing, you're in control of what you're doing, and you're prepared for anything. There is less fear when you clearly know what you're doing, and that is how you take this risk. Number two, get a clarity on what is trust to you. The criteria that people have to trust someone is very subjective to them, and there's no one action that determines that the person is completely trustworthy. It's a slow process, and what is this process to you? You can try journaling this. Whenever there's an action from the other person that makes your trust build more, note it down. If there are doubts, note them down too. But also learn the difference between overthinking and actual doubts. What to forgive and what not to forgive, thinking in different perspectives. When you write it down and look at the entries over a period of time, it's gonna help you with a lot more clarity. Number three, communication and boundaries. Communicating clearly with the other person about your needs, your concerns, and issues helps you. How the other person reacts to your communication is another indication of whether or not to trust them. If you're recovering from a betrayal, set boundaries and talk about it with the other person. A clear communication can answer a lot of questions. Whatever doubts you have, whatever fear you have, talk about it with the other person and get them cleared. And while you're doing all of this, make sure you're being a trustworthy person too. Listen to the other person, listen to their issues, understand them, and keep your words. Trust building can feel hard and overwhelming at times, but it is an important part of every relationship. and that's why it is important to talk about it and take steps. I hope this video was helpful. Hit the like button, and for more such videos, subscribe to the channel. And if you're still here, thank you so much for watching.